Hi, welcome back to the channel, everyone. I am here at a mealworm farm called JORD Producers, and I'm here with Chris Vrooman, and she's about to show me the operation inside this door, and we're going to get the start to finish product of how they grow mealworms, and I'm really excited. I've never seen this before. But we're going to show you the behind the scenes of how they make mealworms and how you can buy them. I will put a link at the bottom of the description here, and you can follow that link, and if you want to purchase them, you can always look them up and get some from JORD Producers. So let's go inside the store and check it out. Okay, we have made it here into the worm room. Chris here is going to talk to us about the how this all gets started and the final product. So we'll go ahead and listen to her and see what this farm is all about.
Okay, thanks Ryan. So this is the worm growing room, and we keep it about 80 degrees and about 70% humidity. The insects can get moisture from the air. And so the parents of mealworms are beetles, which you might not realize. So these black darkling beetles are what they lay eggs, and the eggs about 16 weeks later are the size of mealworms that you want to harvest. So how we do it is we grow the insects in a bed of wheat bran, and they eat potatoes and wheat bran. That's their only food source. And they lay the eggs and they filter it down, and the eggs are collected along with the wheat bran in these trays, and they hang out in these trays. We call these the nursery trays for a number of weeks. And you can see in this tray, these are a couple weeks old. You can see on the potato some really tiny ones. We harvest some smaller than these for some insect zoos, and they feed them to their baby tarantulas. So we have a special way. You can see how small those are. This is about the size we harvest, actually. We send out a few thousand of those each month.
Wow.
So they hang out in there for a while, and then we transition them to these growing trays. And in the growing trays, they continue to eat, and then they also poop. And so what's special about the mealworms is their frass. We have them, they're grown in these trays that have screen on the bottom, and it helps them sift out the frass, and that keeps them a little bit cleaner. These are small mealworms, not ready for harvest yet. It keeps them cleaner, they grow a little bit better. And then we have a really nice fertilizer to sell. And so we sell this fertilizer at some retail locations and on our website, but it's rich in nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. And it also contains chitin. And the special thing about chitin is chitin incites the plant's natural defense mechanism against pests like other insects or powdery and downy mildew. So you can mix this up in like a compost tea and water your plants, root drench or foliate, or mix it in with the soil, because the pests think there are other pests present, or the plants think, that there are pests present, and so they emit whatever that plants emit that helps build their defenses. So it's like a kind of a prebiotic for your plant. Plus it has the potassium, nitrogen, and phosphorus. So it's great for your soil and improves the microbial activity. The life cycle of a mealworm is really long, so it takes about 16 weeks from egg to harvest, and in that's twice as long as it takes to grow like a meat chicken. So it takes a long time. But insects, here's some more smaller insects. They're rich in protein, and we sell these insects mostly business to business. So we sell them to wild bird stores for people who are attracting wild birds to their backyard, especially bluebirds. We sell them to exotic pet stores for lizard lovers, and we also sell them to places that sell fish bait. They're perfect for ice fishing. So Ryan, I hope you catch a lot of good fish tomorrow when you go ice fishing. And this is about the size that we harvest them at. And I have a tote over there of some that are going to be harvested and delivered to a store tomorrow. And for you to use ice fishing. So what happens is they go through this process, and then they turn to pupa, and it's kind of like the chrysalis stage of the butterfly, and then from here they turn into beetles. So we keep about 5% back that we turn into beetles, and then allow the beetles to lay the eggs. Once the beetles are past their reproductive prime, we harvest those and sell them as a chicken treat mix, or we freeze them and sell them to a pet treat manufacturer. So every part of what we grow, we can sell. Even the skins, you can see in some of the trays that they produce, they shed their skins just like snakes do. And we vacuum off the skins, and it helps. We vacuum off the skins, and skins are rich in chitin, and chitin is used for things like artificial skin, contact lenses, and most chitin in the world is obtained from shellfish, like shrimp, the shrimping industry. So we don't actually sell that, but we know that there's a use for everything that we make, or everything that we grow, which is pretty exciting. And so for every pound of worm we grow, we get 2 pounds of frass. So that's a lot of frass that we get to move. So we're excited. We're in some stores now throughout Nebraska. So
Yeah.
our biggest customer are the wild bird markets. So we sell, and in fact, of the wild bird markets and exotic birds, so like pheasants and some exotic quail. We didn't realize this, but they feed mealworms especially to the hatchlings. And so they like those, and this is about the time of the year that is our busy time. So we'll, a room this size, we should be able to produce about 25 to 50 pounds of mealworms per week. And most of that is going to the wild bird and ice fishing market this time of year. A little bit the wild bird, exotic bird, a little bit later in the spring, and then exotic pet more in the summer.
Okay.
But our customers, most of our customers are business to business. So we'll sell to Wild Bird Habitat in Lincoln. We have wild bird habitat type stores in Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska. Everyone always asks us what prompted us to get started raising mealworms, and that's a good question. There's 3 of us women who own JORD Producers, Amber Clausen, Cheryl Powers, and myself. And Amber has a site that's about 10 times this. It's a converted hog farrowing facility that she has outfitted with trays to, and we're continuing to expand in that facility. There's room to expand. But how we got started is I'm a grant writer by trade, and I was writing a grant for a company who created food products out of insects, and I did a lot of market research for them, and I recognized a tremendous market opportunity, especially because they wanted to use mealworms as a source of food, like mealworm powder. It's super high in protein. It has a great fatty acid profile similar to beef, and it's very environmentally friendly to grow. It has a low footprint, environmental footprint to grow, especially with their water. You know, they have minimal water consumption and minimal grains consumption per pound of protein produced. They're about 50+% protein when dried. So that's what we thought. We recognized that there was an opportunity in the food industry to get started. And as I mentioned before, we're not actually in the food industry, because when we were thinking about, is this a viable business, we went through the N-Motion Startup Accelerator, and through that, Cheryl Powers contacted more than 100 different potential customers. We realized the market potential was more than we could even imagine. The wild bird market, the exotic pet market, was a much lower hanging fruit and a higher margin than getting into the food market. So what we wanted to do, we wanted to bootstrap it and kind of grow organically and and strategically. So we're starting in this market where we can learn the processes, figure out how it's all grown, just improve our systems and processes so we can get it to a lower price per pound, and then have the funds to expand and get commercial grade kitchen and move into the food sector. And then beyond that, we have opportunities to move into the feed sector. So this isn't considered an animal feed. Sure. An animal feed is when it's integrated into like aquaculture feed, for example. And it's much easier to integrate to human food than it is animal feed. There's much more regulations on the animal feed sector than the human food sector. And in the spirit of why we got started with human food, I do have some snacks for you to try, Ryan.
Okay.
We have a couple of seasoned snacks here. We've got Chex Mix flavored, and we have cinnamon sugar flavored. If you're allergic to, are you allergic to shellfish?
Not that I know of, but we're about to find out.
Okay, so if you're allergic to shellfish, you might be allergic to insects because they can say their shell contains the chitin. Same as them.
Okay. All right. What do you think, guys? What should I go for first? Should I go? What would you say these flavors are?
Chex Mix flavored and cinnamon sugar.
Let's go with cinnamon sugar. That's this one?
Always the fan favorite. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the cinnamon sugar right there. Can't you see the cinnamon and sugar on there? Yeah. Yummy.
Smell it. It's nice.
Yummy.
Bottoms up.
Cheers. Cheers. Am I just taking a shot of this?
Just take a shot.
Oh my. Can I have more? That's
good,
yummy.
right?
That's pretty good. Okay.
It's good.
And what's this flavor?
And that's Chex Mix.
Chex Mix. Okay.
Sweet and savory.
Here's the Chex Mix flavor right there, sweet and savory. And take another shot. Can't believe I'm doing this, people. Only on Ryan M Outdoors would you see this type of stuff.
Now you'll know what your fish are going to be eating tomorrow.
So either I can feel sorry for the fish.
Yes.
Or love them because I've shared the same food.
That's right. That's right. Or if things aren't working out with the fishing, you can toast some up for a little snack later.
Oh, good call.
But here's our little helpful tip for ice fishing,
Okay.
or fishing in general. You could use a pill bottle, and you know the great thing about these for fishing is they're very clean. It's a super clean. You're not getting your hands all gooey by using a traditional night crawler. You can put some in a pill bottle. We've drilled holes in the pill bottle. Just keep them like that. Keep them inside your pocket so they're staying nice and warm, and they're being super active by staying warm. You know, when it's cold, they don't like the cold just like I do. They like this 80-degree room. So it keeps them super active, and so you can just put them on the hook and drop them in, and hopefully they're ready to go and catch us some really big fish.
So there you have it, ice fishermen. You can fill them up with some mealworms, and you're good to go. You don't need to buy all that fancy, you know, bait bucket or whatever they have out there. Just use your pill bottles. That's all you gotta do. So yeah, that's a great tip. Okay, well hopefully you enjoyed the mealworm farm from JORD Producers. I actually learned a lot. I hope you learned a lot. Be sure to look up their link. I'll leave it down in the description below if you're interested in some mealworms for ice fishing particularly, because that's what I like to do. So go to their website at jordproducers.com and place your order, and they'll get you an order to you as soon as they can. So it's a great operation, and I bet you it'll catch you lots of fish. So thanks for tuning in to Ryan M Outdoors, and we got some ice fishing coming up. In fact, I'm going to go out and use these mealworms and see what we can catch. Maybe we can catch some crappie, some largemouth bass, some bluegill. We're sure to catch some fish because we're using some JORD Producers mealworms. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to drop some comments down below, or some ice fishing with some mealworms, and we'll see what we can do for you guys. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.